In Chapter 7, Section 5, you're going to learn about exponential and logarithmic equations. Now when we deal with the equations, the only difference between yesterday and today is instead of just having a plain x as an exponent, you'll have something like 3x as an exponent. So when I say this is pretty much review of stuff that we've done yesterday or the day before, what I'm talking about is this. You have already done, so I'm going to write already know, okay? You already know how to do something like log 3, let's make it pretty simple, log 3 of 27. You would be able to say, okay, that's really asking 3 to what power is 27, and then you would get a common base, and you would say, okay, well 27 is really 3 to the third, and you would be able to tell me that x is 3. Alright? We're really going to follow something like this format today. I'm going to teach you what to do when you can get a common base and when you can't get a common base. Okay, so here's your question you always need to ask yourself. Always ask, what is the common base? As we continue on, let's take a look at problem 1. And what I want you to understand is this entire page right here, this entire page deals with things that have common bases. So that's the first page. First page, all have common bases. Alright, problem 1. It says multiple choice, but I took them away from you. What is the solution of 16 to the 3x power equal 8? Let's talk about the common base. The common base, now, you would need to think of things that you can take to a power. I know that both of those are powers of 2, so I'm going to rewrite my equation like this. Instead of 16, I know 16 is 2 to the 4th. Don't forget, though, that that was that 3x up there as well. I know that 8 is really 2 to the 3rd. Okay? So notice how I got a common base. Each of them had a base of 2. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to circle my exponents and I'm going to set them equal. So 4 times 3 is 12, so I get 12x equals 3. X has to be 3 over 12, which please reduce that to 1 over 4. And then if you ever have questions to see if you did it right, just put it in your calculator, okay? So we'll do, what was it initially? It was 16, right? So we'll do 16 to the 3 times 1 over 4 power, and you can see that you get your answer of 8. Let's move on to got it number 1. Now the got it number 1 also has a common base. Take a moment and try to figure out what the common base of number 1, the got it is. Got it number 1. Hopefully you were able to come up with the common base, and this one is 3. Okay, so let's write 27. 27 is 3 to the 3rd. But remember that it had an additional 3x with it. Now 81 is 3 to the 4th. These are just some things you're probably going to have to memorize, okay? So we take our exponents, we set them equal. So I'm just going to say, well, 3 times 3 is 9x, and we're going to set that equal to 4, okay? I'm drawing arrows in case you're wondering where things are coming from. Divide by 9, x is 4 over 9. If you want to try plugging it back in, you can see that that is the solution. On the next page, I'm going to teach you how to do this when you cannot get a common base. Okay? So this whole entire page is when you cannot get a common base. The whole front page we could. We're going to rewrite it as a log, and then we're going to use what's called the change of base formula, which we've learned in the previous video. Alright, so I'm going to think here, what's my common base? And I already gave it away. Alright, there is no common base. When this happens, follow my steps. You're going to step 1, put it in logarithmic form. Okay? When we put it into logarithmic form, we do log base of 15 of 285 equals 3x. Logarithms are exponents, so you set it equal to your exponent. Step 2, remember the change of base formula? We have to use the change of base formula, and we're going to say that that's really log of 285 over log of 15 equal 3x. I'm going to get this, and let's round today. Let's round to the nearest, let's go to 4 decimal places. So step 3. Now I like to do this, okay? I like to move my 3 over. Watch how I'm going to do this in my calculator, okay? I'm going to type the logs in my calculator, and then I'm going to divide by 3 in the calculator. So ready? And why do I divide by 3? Because, you know, it's 3x here. I have to divide by 3. Alright, you ready? Here we go. We'll do log. And remember, you can use a basic calculator here. You don't need like a real fancy one. You do log of 285, and then you divide by log of 15. Hit the enter button, okay? You'll get a really big decimal, but remember, this big decimal has to be divided by 3, so I'm going to hit divide by 3. I'm going to end up getting these decimals. Let's count 4 places over. 1, 2, 3, 4. See that 7? That 7 is going to become an 8. So 0.69578. We're going to round it to 58. Now remember, we rounded, so when we go to check it, it's not going to be 100% perfect. Let's check it up here with our 15. 15 to the 3 times our answer, 0.6958, and you get approximately 285, so you know that you did do it right, okay? Now if you're doing this all in once in the calculator, let's make sure that you understand how. In calculator, what you're going to do, you're going to type log of 285, my calculator makes me use parentheses, you're going to divide by log of 15, then you're going to hit enter, and then you would divide by 3 to get your answer. Knowing how to work the calculator is half the battle. Let's try problem 2, and then we'll finish the rest of the notes on a different video. What is the solution of 5 to the 2x equal 130? Well, let's go ahead and we'll do A here, alright? And then if we want to solve B, we'll solve B over here. So we have 5 to the 2x equals 130. Well, I have no common base, so I got to use my change of base formula. Follow the steps from above. Step 1, put in logarithmic form. So log base 5 of 130 equals 2x. Okay, step 2 says use the change of base formula. So log of 130 over log of 5 equals 2x. Now don't forget on the calculator, once you do this on your calculator, you're going to have to divide it by 2 at the end, okay? Now if you would like to put it all in your calculator, remember you're going to do log of 130, you're going to divide by log of 5, you're going to hit enter in the calculator, and then you're going to divide by 2, and then you're going to get the answer. Remember, you're dividing by 2 so you can solve for x. Okay, log of 130 divide by log of 5. See this number? Okay, just so you know, that would be 3.0246999. I don't round until the end. Divided by 2. Please do not divide, don't round until the very end. Divide by 2, we'll get an approximate answer of 1.5122 when we round. Remember, you can always double check that by plugging it back in. Don't get any of these wrong. Go back and work it out until you can get it. Now the part B says, why can't you use the same method in problem 1 to solve problem 2? Well, I hope that you understand by the titles. In problem 1, we could get a common base. Okay? In problem 2, we couldn't. And that's the main difference, okay? When you can't get a common base, you have to use the change of base formula.